Israel is not only concerned about the possibility of a third intifadă, but also about the threat of Iran's nuclear program. With conflicting reports over whether the international community will actually reach a deal before the November 24 deadline, social media became the sparring ground for preventing Iran from becoming a nuclear nation. Here's our report, followed by analysis from CBN News senior editor John Waggy in our Virginia Beach studio. In a message on his Facebook page, Prime Minister Netanyahu said his office sent a letter to the P5+1 nations, pointing out that Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, publicly called for the destruction of Israel, even while he's negotiating a nuclear deal.
The leader of this country that is depicted by some as moderate, the Islamic State of Iran, has said in the last 48 hours, one, that he calls for the annihilation of Israel.
On his Twitter page, Khamenei called Israel a barbaric, wolf-like, and infanticidal regime, for which there is no cure but to be annihilated, and provided a 9-step plan for confronting Israel, including arming Palestinians in the West Bank. Reports say Iran is preparing to expand its plutonium program and may have 5 times the advanced centrifuges as previously thought. That would shorten the time it would take for Iran to become a nuclear power.
There is no moderation in Iran. It is unrepentant, unreformed. It calls for Israel's eradication. It promotes international terrorism. And as the IAEA report just said, it continues to deceive the international community about its nuclear weapons program.
Some fear with U.S. midterm elections behind him, President Obama could push through a deal with Iran. Netanyahu believes that would be a disaster.
This terrorist regime in Iran must not be allowed to become a nuclear threshold power. And I call on the P5+1 countries, don't rush into a deal that would let Iran rush to the bomb.
Netanyahu has warned against a nuclear Iran for years. It's not clear if the P5+1 will heed his warning or if it will fall on deaf ears.
CBN News senior editor John Waggy joins us now for analysis of the growing danger from Iran. So, John, why is the Obama administration so eager to reach an agreement with Iran?
Well, Ephraim, I think if you strip away the verbal commitments to Israel's security, which we've heard from the administration over and over again, the very idea that these mullahs in Iran multiple times and over multiple years have threatened the eradication of Israel, as we just saw, it's just astounding, but it appears that the administration not only wants an agreement with Iran, but believes that Israel is more of a threat to the international balance in the Middle East than the Iranian government in Iran has been. And they want this agreement, in my view, not so much to applaud Iran and to get an agreement, but to stop Israel from taking any action that would be military in nature. And that's a pretty scary proposition.
Now, that said, recently in Atlantic magazine, a senior White House official bragged that the administration had stopped Netanyahu from attacking Iran in the last 3 years. Why is that a good thing?
It's not a good thing. And that's the thing that's so disturbing, is that there are administration officials that actually believe that stopping Netanyahu was the most important thing they could accomplish. And in reading the Atlantic article, they were almost gleeful about this thing. And that is disturbing to a lot of people in both parties in the United States. And if you look at the central tenets of the Obama foreign policy, they've been after 2 things: stopping Netanyahu from pursuing military action against Iran and stopping Israel from building apartments in Jerusalem. Those are the 2 things which they latch onto with firmer intensity than anything else. And it's something that is going to lead to more damage for our country and more damage for the countries in that region as we go along.
Can Israel take military action now to stop Iran from going nuclear?
Boy, that is a good question. I don't fully know the answer to that. I know that Israel has repeatedly said, Netanyahu has said as prime minister and before he's prime minister, he has said over and over again that Israel will not allow Iran to go nuclear. You have to take him at his word. How they accomplish that without the bunker-busting bombs they need when Iran has hidden all these weapons deep underground, under mountains, it's not going to be an easy proposition, and it is going to be disruptive for the world. But the longer that waits, the more difficulty the world is going to face later on.
All right.